Your heart drops when your phone lights up, not because something happened, but because something might happen. And in that tiny pause before it rings, your mind is already running. You stare at the screen. You hope it stops. You hope they hang up. And at the same time, you feel guilty for hoping that, because it's just a call. So why does it feel like pressure? Why does it feel like exposure? There's something about phone calls that feels unsafe to you. Not dangerous, just unpredictable. A message gives you space. You can read it, reread it, analyze the tone, craft the perfect response, delete it, rewrite it, control it. But a phone call? It's live, it's raw. There's no draft folder, no backspace, no time to think through every possible outcome before you speak. And that's where the fear starts. You don't just hear a ringtone, you hear responsibility. You hear expectations. You hear the possibility of saying the wrong thing, of sounding awkward, of being misunderstood. And once words leave your mouth, you can't edit them. You can't soften them. You can't take them back. So your brain does what it always does. It runs simulations. What if they ask something I'm not ready for? What if there's silence? What if I don't know what to say? What if I say too much? What if my voice sounds weird? You even rehearse simple things. Hello. You practice how you'll say it. Casual, calm, normal. But when the call actually comes, your chest tightens like you're about to step on stage, and you don't even know why. It's not that you hate people. You don't. It's not that you're incapable of talking. You talk all the time. But on a call, you can't see their face. You can't read their microexpressions. You can't measure their reaction. So your mind fills in the blanks. And it never fills them kindly. It imagines judgment, disappointment, hidden meaning in every pause. You hear a breath on the other end and wonder what it means. Are they annoyed? Are they distracted? Did I say something wrong? You become hyper-aware of your own breathing, your own tone, your own pauses. You monitor yourself while trying to be present. It's exhausting. And sometimes, before the phone even rings, you're already tired because you saw their name earlier. You know they might call, and your mind has been preparing all day, replaying past conversations, imagining future ones. You remember that one time you stumbled over your words, that one awkward silence, that one comment that sounded better in your head than out loud. Your brain stores those moments like evidence, proof that you need to be more careful next time. So when the screen lights up again, it's not just a call, it's history, it's pressure. It's the weight of every conversation you've ever overanalyzed. And maybe the hardest part, you don't trust yourself in real time. In messages, you can be thoughtful, measured, precise. But in a call, you're spontaneous. And spontaneity feels risky. Because what if the real you says something imperfect? You'd rather be quiet than flawed. You'd rather delay than risk regret. So you let it ring. Or you text back, "Can I call you later?" Even if you never do. And then the guilt creeps in. Why am I like this? It's just a phone call. Other people answer without thinking. They laugh. They talk freely. They don't replay it at 2 a.m. But you will. If the conversation felt slightly off, you'll dissect it. That one sentence, that tone shift, that laugh that lasted a second too long. You'll ask yourself what they're thinking now. You'll imagine how you sounded. You'll rewrite your answers in your head long after the call has ended. And sometimes the fear isn't about what you'll say. It's about what they'll say. Because a phone call can bring news, requests, conflict, emotion. You can't prepare for every direction it might go. And uncertainty feels like standing on thin ice. You prefer controlled environments, clear expectations, define scripts. A phone call is none of those things. It's open-ended. And open-ended things make your mind spin. You also feel exposed in ways you can't explain. Your voice carries your mood, your hesitation, your vulnerability. You can't hide behind a perfectly placed emoji. You can't mask confusion with punctuation. If you're tired, they might hear it. If you're anxious, they might sense it. And that feels like giving someone access to parts of you that you usually filter. There's also silence. Silence on a call feels loud, heavy, like you're responsible for filling it. In a text, silence is normal. Time passes. No one notices. But on a call, 3 seconds can feel like an hour. You scramble to think of something to say. Anything, just to avoid that void. And the more you scramble, the less natural it feels. So you start dreading not just what could happen, but the effort of holding the conversation up, like you're carrying it on your shoulders, making sure it doesn't drop. You don't just talk. You perform stability. You perform calm. You perform engagement, all while monitoring yourself from the inside. It's like you're both the speaker and the critic at the same time, and that split attention drains you. After the call ends, you don't feel neutral. You feel depleted. Even if it went fine, especially if it went fine, because now your mind wants to review it. Frame by frame. Did that joke land? Did I interrupt them? Did they seem distant at the end? You search for clues, for hidden meaning, for signs that something shifted. Most of the time, nothing did. But your brain doesn't accept nothing. It needs analysis. It needs certainty. And certainty rarely comes. At night, when everything is quiet, conversations resurface. Not the big dramatic ones, the small ones, the tiny details. The way your voice cracked slightly, the way you said the way you laughed. You replay them like unfinished scenes. You imagine better versions, smoother responses, wittier comments, more confident tones. You promise yourself that next time you'll do better. Be better. But when next time comes, the same tension returns. Because it's not about skill, it's about control. And phone calls take control away. They force you into the present. And the present doesn't allow editing. There's also something else. When someone calls, it feels immediate, urgent, like they need you now. And you feel the pressure to be available, to respond correctly, to meet the moment, even if you're not ready, even if you're overwhelmed, even if your energy is already low. You rarely ask yourself what you need in that moment. You ask what they expect. And that shift drains you quietly. You're not scared of connection. You're scared of misconnection, of being slightly off, slightly misunderstood, of saying something that changes the tone of the relationship in ways you didn't intend. Because to you, conversations are not just words. They're fragile threads, and you feel responsible for keeping them intact. So when the phone rings, it's not noise. It's a test of composure, of likability, of clarity, of emotional balance. And that's a lot to carry in a simple hello. But here's something gentle. Maybe the fear isn't weakness. Maybe it's sensitivity without armor. Maybe you feel more because you notice more. The pauses, the shifts, the subtle emotional weather in someone's voice. You pick up on things others ignore, and that awareness is heavy, especially in real time. So of course you hesitate. Of course you brace yourself. You've learned that words matter. That tone matters. That small moments can echo longer than expected. You're not dramatic, you're careful, you're not antisocial, you're aware. And awareness can feel like standing in bright light with no shade. But listen closely. Not every call is a verdict. Not every pause hides judgment. Not every imperfect sentence defines you. Sometimes a call is just two imperfect humans talking, breathing, pausing, figuring it out as they go. And maybe the reason it scares you is because it asks you to be real, without rehearsal, without polish, just you, in real time. And that feels vulnerable, but vulnerability isn't failure. It's exposure without a script. And you've survived every call you were afraid of, even the awkward ones, even the messy ones. You're still here, still thinking, still caring. Maybe the phone rings tonight, maybe it doesn't. But right now, in this quiet moment, you're safe. There's no voice waiting on the other end, no expectation, no script, just you, breathing. And maybe, slowly, you realize something. The call was never the enemy. It was the fear of being unedited. And maybe, just maybe, unedited doesn't mean unacceptable. It just means human. And being human was never something you needed to rehearse.